Today on How to Play the Game, we'll be looking at Super Castlevania.
I see that you enjoy Konami games. You like Castlevania, don't you?
Well, I will be showing you how to play the beginning theme for Castlevania 3 on the electric guitar. Now, because of the small differences between the Famicom and the NES version of Castlevania 3, and because I think it's an awesome arrangement altogether, I'll be doing the Super Castlevania 4 version of this. One thing I liked about this arrangement was that it took advantage of the Super Nintendo's great sound capabilities and used 6 of the 8 channels available. The 6 channels were not just limited to one instrument either. The sound designers were free to switch to any instrument at any point in each of the tracks. Here's the lead part that we're going to be looking at, which is actually traded off between several different instruments. Other than having a pile of different digital samples, another thing that's neat about the tracks is how the echo was put in on some of the instruments. Rather than using a built-in effect, this was actually done by putting the same sound on a different track and moving it ahead in time a tiny bit, so it creates an echoing effect. So some of those parts you actually heard were actually up to 3 tracks at the same time. Now for the rhythm. I'll start with the very jazzy sounding drum track. Kind of hard to follow the rhythm at times? Check what this sounds like with the bass. Now that the groove is laid down, I'll add the string ensemble tracks. This took up the majority of the voices. After that, all that would be left is just a few harmonies and counterpoints. So, now that we looked at how this is put together, I provided a backing track with everything except for the lead tracks that we first looked at. I will now play over this backing track on guitar. I tuned down half a step for the purpose of this lesson, even though it's not necessary for the guitar. The reasoning I did this was because the bass actually had to be tuned down half a step. If you do have a bassist and he's looking at the sheet music, so the guitar is going to follow suit. And now we'll play it slow. For a bonus, I'm going to add a little challenging little guitar lick here. I can barely play it myself, to be honest. In fact, I don't think I can at full speed. But here's the lick at the very end. It's played by the organ, and, well, good luck. And that's all there is to it. Keep practicing and you can play the game.